must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Alrighty.
Welcome to Anonymous Bites Back. This is an update episode on the situation regarding our kidnapped and incarcerated brother, Commander X. You guys know on Friday he was removed by federal agents from the house that he had just been relocated to about a month or two ago, probably 2 months ago now, maybe 3. And we spoke to the Friends of X committee down in Mexico, the people that were kind of taking care of him. Recall that X was basically on death's door and thought that he was no longer going to even be a part of the world, let alone ever raise a voice to say free Assange again. Fortunately not the case now, as a result of what truly appears to be a planned operation on the part of the U.S. government. X is in a holding cell in Central California in Dublin. We've already said this, so we're he is supposedly going to be in court in San Jose tomorrow. Really trying to find out more about that. Hopefully at some point Keith McHenry gets back to me. He was making a couple of phone calls. Mark, do you have anything that you want to add at the moment? And then I'll kind of go through what the little bit more that we've learned about the actual kidnapping after.
Okay.
so we spoke to his sister, who says he's able to get into a call with him on Tuesday. So at the end of Tuesday, we will probably know a lot more. I hope. Also, we know a little bit about the current charges, right?
I can share a screen on that.
Okay, do that. It's better.
Yeah,
So-
this is from the inmate locator in the Santa Rita jail where he's currently being held. Basically,
I thought.
Santa Rita.
Oh, it is Santa Rita. Fuck.
Yeah,
Chill.
yep.
Yeah, so the current
And
charge
then-
has failure to appear, right? Which I think is technically the same charge as was given against Julian Assange initially.
Essentially, yeah.
Released on bail.
Yeah,
There you go.
No bail.
yeah,
No.
that was kind of expected.
So that, I mean, that's the situation. He'll go before a judge to be arraigned tomorrow. Obviously, there is not going to be the possibility of posting bond. Not that I would recommend you personally put your house up. We're gonna go from there. A lawyer has been contacted. There's at least been positive movement, affirmation. What would you say, Lubers, in terms of X having representation that doesn't come out of the public defender's office?
Yeah. Do you think it's okay if we already mentioned that before we actually?
No, I mean, as far as like, there's been positive steps made towards securing representation. That's gonna take significant funds, really. So we're
Okay.
there are a couple of different defense funds and avenues for that. We'll come up with some, I guess, fun ways that people can help too.
Yeah. So let's just say that a good defense has been arranged for him. It's up to X now to actually get in touch about that and decide what he wants. So we will have to wait for him to do that. But that part I guess we handled. We would eventually have to do some kind of like fundraiser, but I'm sure we can manage that. We just do.
And to that point too, I will say this: if anyone knows, like, a just, powerhouse attorney that would happen to be able to be like proficient in internet and digital activism, extradition, immigration,
Yeah.
Kidnapping.
let us know. Because we're definitely not trying to put all of our legal eggs in one basket. At least not at the moment. There's just so much that's kind of up in the air right now, and that sucks. I wish we had a lot more to bring you tonight. But we're giving you what we got when we get it.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to do that. And make sure you're following the Twitter account at FreeCommanderX_. The underscore is important. There are 2 Free Commander X Twitter accounts. Because why the fuck wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't it?
Because it's Commander X that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that part we discussed. Yeah, so that's crucial because like we also said like to the rest like there's two things we really need to do, and that is like one, we get him the legal help. Uh, okay, well we got the first basket. Like you said, we need more lawyers. Okay, but second is there needs to be put as much attention on the case as possible, and that is just to make sure he's actually safe. Right? We have well, by now people know how badly at least the U.S. justice system can treat certain people. Well, not just the U.S. I mean, we see it in the UK with Julian too, and we don't want such bad things to happen. So we just make sure that they're aware that we are all watching them, and that makes at least gives us a little more hope that they will be a little more careful with how they treat their subjects.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And did we go over on stream the developments with kind of Mexico's role in X's kidnapping, or
Well, here's
or
the thing, man. I spoke to Ed. He said her name, but I'm not gonna. But I spoke to the woman who was is running the Friends of X committee. She was with X's attorney yesterday when they went to go make their rounds, trying to pump everyone they possibly could for information. The little community where X was living was gated. Like, a lot of places in Mexico are like that. There's legit a little, there's one gate going into the little neighborhood type thing. There's a guard there. Like we told you yesterday, and like we found out yesterday, there were two guys in uniform that came up initially, flashed some credentials, and were told by X's landlady, "No, you can take a hike." When they talked to the gate guard was able to describe everyone that came back and left with X. They had to break onto the property to do it, but they left with and I'm going to have to talk to his lawyer because I'm communicating via the phone or via text message, and a bit gets lost when you translate. But the guard in the place where X lived told us yesterday morning he confirmed this. Mexican feds showed up first, and then a guy from the U.S. Embassy showed up with the other policeman that arrested. Guy from the U.S. Embassy showed up with the other policeman that broke onto the property, broke into the house, dragged him out.
Okay.
Yesterday, the guard told us we questioned him on who the police were and how they were dressed or identified. So yeah, and then appears to be a well-planned operation, but a guy from the U.S. Embassy showing up, like, what the fuck? This is, and then here's the thing: is if that's the case, that 100% means that the Mexican government was at least involved on an approval level. It crossed a couple of desks, and that, as much as anything, should be making every single digital activist, online activist, very nervous. Especially anyone who may have a reason to want to seek asylum And like X had limited options in terms of transportation or a way out since he was already on the run at the time.
Hmm.
And he was given refugee status and political asylum in the country. Like for it to even be something that easy to just shove off. I mean, this is, not a young man, not in the best of health, had been, had made a health comeback. Surprised the fuck out of me.
Me too. And it was great to see, which makes this even more humane for them to take him away just a couple weeks after he's making his comeback.
Yeah, well, it's a sad story, and I mean that they can just pick him up in Mexico. What is that? Doesn't even make sense to me. He got a refugee status, like you guys were saying, and because he was a refugee from the USA. So if they grant him like a refugee status, why the hell would they just give him to the USA? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would you give it to
Well,
me?
I
Yeah.
mean, at that point, it's not even like it's an immigration violation. According to them, immigration had nothing to do with it. What we were saying on stream yesterday was coming from them. They got lied to. And I think at some point we were able to correct that on the stream. But, I mean, the extortion and kidnapping office and Mexican immigration straight the fuck lied their asses off to X's immigration lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, they had to go piece it back together the following day after finding out that they got the runaround. But fuck, dude.
Yeah, what a sad story. And that the fact that he is immediately taken back to California.
Yeah.
That's literally the place he was running from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like technically, like it was like a federal thing, right? It said it in so he could be taken anywhere, but he immediately gets taken to California, the place that was looking for him. Yeah, I don't. It is a really a sad story. So all we can do now is get him the best possible defense and show the world that this is going on. And the timing is so strange too to me. Like,
A lot of things are weird about this. Kamala Harris was in Mexico, like, that day or the day after.
G7 summit.
G7 summit. I'm pretty sure he even joked about the G7 on a stream.
Yeah, probably.
What else? He had just came back with the show, and within 3 weeks of bringing the X Speak series back, he'd got Wi-Fi to Freedom Camp in Santa Cruz for the homeless camp. And Keith has told me that, like, the fuckery around Santa Cruz and Food Not Bombs has gone up over the last couple, like, several weeks, maybe a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those guys were, direct messaging each other on Twitter
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
about bringing Wi-Fi to Freedom Camp.
And he was saying it on stream too.
Yeah, and of course,
Not to mention everything with all the G7 leaders essentially saying and promising a crackdown on,
Well,
the
and
cyber
offering
attacks and
a cyber criminal
hacktivism.
prisoner exchange and shit too. Like, cyber criminals are at the forefront of conversations with global leaders all over the fucking place right now.
Yeah. They're promising a crackdown on cyber attacks and hacktivism in general. So
Yeah, because they just switched the entire economy to digital and trashed every other business.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they've got these really fucking suspicious ransomware attacks that really don't look all that much like a well, I mean, I'm sure to a degree they got like LulzSec, honestly, because the FBI doesn't just magically recover 63.7 out of the 70 Bitcoin
No.
that got paid in ransom. It doesn't
Yeah.
just happen. X was the one who told us that one of the crew made off with the keys.
yeah. Maybe that crew had a little Sabu.
Maybe
Never
that
know.
crew had a little fucking Sabu, little fucking rat
Rat.
monster, fucking piece of shit, fucking Fed motherfucker.
Bitch ass.
And at that point, it's the FBI getting money back that's already going to be paid to Colonial in the ransomware insurance that I guarantee you they bought just a few months before this happened.
Yeah.
They shut down their fucking pipeline when they didn't have to. Fucking, like, held the East Coast hostage in a gas crisis that appears to be totally fucking manufactured. Supply chain problems that really appear to be totally manufactured. Navigator Navigate says Twitter is a trap for freedom of speech activists. Well, don't do your fucking activism. Don't do your planning on Twitter.
Yes, please.
Or any
I'll do
social
that.
media.
Huh?
Yeah, Twitter or any social media. I mean, it's all the same story. Any big social media is
Right.
all the same story. I mean, yeah. Can't blame just Twitter. I mean, like, Facebook is also. If you organize on Facebook, it's also like organizing in your local police station. It's like the same
It
thing.
Yeah, if you're organizing on FedBook, you may as well, like Steve said, just go to your fucking local FBI field office and have the picnic there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's 2021. People have to understand that by now. I mean, it can't be that stupid.
Make sure to live stream it too.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but people know that by now, right? I mean, this is no secret anymore. It's not like we're giving like some kind of like scoop. Oh, whoa, Facebook can't be trusted.
No, dude,
No,
but
they
people
know it.
get comfortable and people forget and people don't fucking think like, oh, well, I'm not really, I'm not fucking up to anything, whatever, dude. We're just organizing a protest. What could happen? Shit like that.
Yeah, and it's just how do you interpret a protest? Are you a dissident? Are you an anarchist? Or do you have anarchists at your protests? Or do you have people who might say something bad about a local cop? Right? So it's not just about you. It's like you're inviting people to show up at your protest. You better make sure they're safe, or do whatever you can to make sure they're safe. But
especially depending on what type of action it is.
yeah.
Like for a lot of these recent actions we're seeing with like BDS, where they're literally shutting down harbors and like fucking up the war supply chain and shutting down these factories and pouring paint all over their buildings and fake blood and destroying some of that shit. Like, yeah, that's something that absolutely has to be done, has to be organized with the utmost security. So
Yeah. Yeah, Navigator Ann says he's been suspended for a year. Yeah. Like, if you say something
No,
that
I
Todd,
remember that handle for sure.
yeah, if you say something that Todd Police doesn't like, you'll just get suspended. That is like another 2021 effect. COVID was a good excuse for them to do that, to start doing that. But before that was already going on, right? If you had like, yeah, I don't want to sound like a Trump supporter or whatever, but if you had, yeah, opinions
Don't
on
you
that
hate
side.
that you have to qualify this shit now? You can't just say a sentence because everything that can come out of anyone's mouth is potentially political.
Yeah,
Like, fuck, dude.
I have to say it now because they will use it because we're doing Axis defense, right? So if the enemies of X can use it or whatever, then they will use it against us. They say Trumpers are supporting X. We have to stop it.
So fucking dumb, dude.
Yeah,
So
y'all
dumb.
can fuck off.
Sorry, I don't trust any politician, and I'm not even from the USA, so that's my disclaimer.
Neither
Right?
do I.
I am on record a lot of places telling you exactly how I feel about Donald Trump. But for the record, Donald Trump, it was, is, will always be a piece of shit puppet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Donald Trump, at best, did the. I'm going to compliment Donald Trump here. Let's do that. Let's give Donald Trump a compliment. He did call into the show the other night. Donald Trump was a caretaker of Reaganomics in a way that none of his predecessor caretakers of Reaganomics were, in that he was able to not just pull off one, but two of the largest upward mobile transfers of wealth in recorded human history. Donald Trump did the bidding of his political paymasters wonderfully. He was a vaccine salesman. He was a lockdown salesman, telehealth salesman. He was a fantastic real estate settlement broker for Benjamin Netanyahu. He got Employee of the Year. They named a whole neighborhood after him. Donald Trump helped Zionists more than Barack Obama and Joe Biden. And Joe Biden, boy, we know how Joe Biden feels about Israel and Zionism.
I mean, like, people can call us Trumpers all we want, but at the end of the day, I remember I pissed off a shit ton of his organizers because I showed up at one of their Stop the Steal rallies and I started yelling because, like, they were playing a Trump speech, and every time he said something about freedom or, like, freedom of speech, I would start yelling about Julian Assange. And mind you, I'm loud and I don't have a megaphone, so I'm screaming, like, over the speakers. And the organizers got hella fucking annoyed with me for that.
Yeah, you don't need
I
a
was like, fuck you guys.
you really don't need a megaphone. Yeah.
That was funny. I want to get
Yeah.
confused. That Cyberpunk 2077 mod put a bullhorn on your fucking head. So, well, I mean, while we're here and while we're doing this, tomorrow, if you're listening or anywhere near Columbus, Ohio, please go to the Columbus, Ohio State House at 1 p.m. The Home Run for Julian tour will be there. John and Gabriel Shipton, Julian's father and brother, Action for Assange, Andrew Smith, and Comrade Misty will be there. Good friend of the show and of the Free Assange community. Comedian Krish Mohan will be coming out for that as well. They will be going from Columbus through the rest of the Midwest. I believe there's 2 days of events in Chicago on the 17th and 18th. And on the 23rd of June, Denver, Colorado, 5 p.m., Denver Press Club. There will be a hell of a panel I know that they're showing Juan Passerelli for a journalism documentary, but I believe that's Monday. I said it wrong on a live stream earlier. It's Monday at the Mercury Cafe in Denver. There will be flyers out soon, if not already. I'll go check. As a matter of fact, we'll do it live. And then Portland, San Francisco on the 26th and 27th. Portland is the 24th. What else? LA, 28th and 29th, and then the final stop in Washington, D.C. on July 1st. I will be there covering the entire West Coast leg and the final stop. I do want to thank everyone who helped make it possible for me to do that. I will be filming all of it, and I will be turning that into a documentary, which I really do hope can have some value in terms of furthering the education and activism around the case.
Yeah, I don't think we would want anyone else to do it, Steve. Yeah.
I would want one to do it, but
Yeah, but he's too far away. I did speak to him today. We should probably
someone is better than no one.
we should probably do like an episode with him soon, and we have David McBride too coming on, so we can discuss this again.
Oh yeah, well, as long as David McBride just came up, we can bring up the fact that we found out today that his freaking, what was it, his kids got threatened or something like that.
Oh really?
Let me pull it up real quick here. But yeah, no, it was pretty fucked for someone. I don't know. David just seems like a very honorable man, and he's going through this shit.
Yeah. Was this on social media or whatever? Because I know his kids have been threatened on social media before. Or was it somewhere else? Was it?
Okay, this is from David McBride's Twitter account. He said, "Yesterday I received a veiled threat against the safety of my children. I wonder from whom. It only makes me more determined to ensure justice is done." So, I mean, he hasn't really gone into details of that, and, I don't blame him too much, but, yeah. I just wanted to bring it up as long as you got mentioned to show that this is the shit that they have to go through.
Isn't it pathetic how these people threaten the kids of activists and whistleblowers? David McBride is an example of that, but I've seen it happen more often.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the whole reason they wanted the UC Global goon to root through the dumpster trash can to go for a used diaper so that they could test baby poo to see if it was Julian's kid, so that they could hold his children over his head. Fucking disgusting.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're assuming the children are like the weak spot, which of course they are in that sense, and that they can use the kids against to scare these people off from doing what they're doing. A guy like David, of course, already expected them to do something like that from the start. It's like, but then to actually see it happen, is so disturbing, right? I mean, like for one, then you can see what kind of evil you're fighting with. People who would threaten innocent kids who have nothing to do with anything of this, right? Just to, I mean, these kids have nothing to do with it. They're not whistleblowing or anything. They're just kids. Yeah, it's just sad. I've seen it. I've seen it more and more, and I don't know. We'll probably discuss this with David. I want him on like tomorrow or.
You did, yeah. You said that that he was gonna be back on soon. That's so fucked, dude. It's so fucked. He's gotta be so fucking furious.
Yeah.
And to know that it's elements within your own fucking government of your own country that are coming after your children because you, in the service to your country, did what you're supposed to do when you encounter war crimes.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your country to be the country that commits war crimes and covers them up.
Yeah. And now it's
And it's easy to get fucking, like, hopeless and bummed out and shit about it. It's easy to, like, want to accept whatever's coming next, which is some Klaus Schwab bullshit. But if you value your humanity, you should be wanting to resist all of this. You should be wanting to organize. You should at least be wanting to opt the fuck out and get out of any major fucking city. Don't wind up on that Bill Gates farmland, though. There's some weird shit going on there. I guarantee it. Why does Bill Gates own all the farmland, and why does Blackstone Capital want to buy up all the single-family houses?
yeah. They're making their move now.
Well, and they have been for, I mean, really, we talked about this a little bit on Slow News Day, but when the housing market here completely collapsed, starting in 2007, in '07, a bunch of Chinese hedge funds started buying up single-family homes. So all of the domestic capital investment funds went, hey, wait, that's a really good idea. And ever since have been scooping them up, and as of like a few months ago, the percentage, or I'm sorry, the number of homes that a massive capital firm is able to buy a year, like just one firm. If BlackRock or Blackstone, I can't remember which one. Do you remember, Jones?
It's BlackRock.
That's what I thought. BlackRock Capital. If they buy them outright, they can buy 30,000 houses on average a year. If they just put the 5 to 20% down, it averages around 150,000 houses a year. And if you multiply that by the 3 largest firms in the nation, that's almost 500 million homes a year that these hedge funds, just the domestic ones, can swoop up. Yeah, if you are at all able to, like, form up a little collective and go buy some acres, get the fuck out there, connect with people that have heirloom seeds, and then start saving all of your seeds. I love it. Grow food by bullets. Fuck censorship. Free Assange. Free Commander X.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of questions about, I've been getting a lot of questions about Commander X's dogs.
So, X's immigration lawyer, who's been on the Free Assange vigils before, She has the dogs. The dogs are good. The dogs are healthy. I will. Here, dude. I will make it so we can all get a picture of X's dogs up on the screen, doing well in the vehicle of the individual that picked them up. Again, um, that's X's immigration lawyer. So let me do this. While I'm doing that, make words come out of your mouth.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can send it in the element, then I can pull it up from there. But yeah, just because I've been getting a lot of questions about yeah X's dogs
Yeah, no,
and
I should have remembered to
oh
lead with the dogs are fine.
yeah I know, but it'll be a good thing I guess to come after all the shit because then it helps. I don't know, but yeah, I mean I figured the dogs were all right just because
And we
I
should
don't
post
know.
this on Twitter too, probably.
Yeah.
But and I'll ask her for some more doggy pictures.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
can zoom in too.
I do have a request for listeners. If announce if you're in the area, in the Bay Area, in the U.S. in California, okay, you can reach out to the Free Commander X underscore support account if you have place to stay. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
You have a place to stay for activists, and you're in the Bay Area in California or whatever, then reach out.
Support.
There they are.
Okay.
Those little guys. Yeah. So that's a good thing to come.
So
Yeah, and I'll make sure that picture gets posted on the X account too.
Very good. Yeah, so that was a serious request, right? Because yeah,
Well,
that
yeah, and I know it's like they're dogs. Like you want to hope they're okay.
yeah.
I have mine next to me right now, so I get it. Do.
hey EM Wolf, if you turn off auto scrolls on the live chat, it's easier to communicate on Rockfin. If you're on a phone, and you have an iPhone, I can't do anything about that until there's another app update. The Android app is decent. It could use a little bit more work, but as a just basic method of watching the show on your phone, it's good. Um, see if there's any questions in the Rockfin chat.
Okay, well, at least in YouTube we have Hans Garman saying it's probably because he wrote a couple of books and several videos embarrassing the U.S. government as the Keystone Cops.
That definitely might have something to do with it. Yeah.
I personally link it to the Julian Assange thing too. He's been an active, or he still is an active supporter of Julian Assange, and we were actually just waiting for the outcome on the whole appeal thing for the Julian Assange extradition thing. And we have a tour going on right now with his family in the USA. And I'm not going to say like this is all about a PR campaign for the US government, saying like we can catch all of them, and we're doing it like this. But it could have something to do with the timing, at least. And then also connecting it to the food not bombs thing.
Yeah.
Because like, no matter how you look at it, Commander X is a media figure, and he's been he gets into documentaries, he gets into news articles, and
Well, that's the other thing too. They just released a documentary about him.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and so it is
It's
actually
being quite advertised.
yeah. I mean, like even this show is in like these texts, like if you so no, but the timing, like it was last week that there was supposed to be an outcome on the appeal thing. Like the USA appealed, like extradition to the US was denied by the judge. The US government appealed and said like we want him extradited anyway, and there was supposed to be like an outcome on that like last week. It didn't come yet. At the same time, we have Assange's family traveling the USA. We have a documentary of X coming out. Like all of this adds together as like a big thing. He's been a super vocal supporter of Assange. He's been on vigils. He's been on all these different moves to support Assange. And then suddenly he gets taken in. And the actual charge is the exact or about the same thing as they charged Julian with. But yeah, has nothing to do with it. But I mean, like
Well, it's
the timing.
It's a placeholder until they can, figure out just how and where they're going to hit him with whatever charges they can dig up and throw at him. That's what the FTA is, the failure to appear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, like at least the timing is very suspicious. I mean, they could have they could have done it last year. They could have do it. They could do it next year. They do it. They choose to do it now, exactly around this time. So, yeah.
Well, last year, the Justice Department was, I mean, essentially like it was Bill Barr's corrupt, vendetta-driven organization. We've got a new DOJ. We've got a new puppet in the White House that has his own personal axes to grind with cyber criminals. So last year, less incentive, and they weren't doing like a lot of extradition shit because of the Rona. Like they flat out weren't. They'd leave you in a cell, or I'm sorry, a holding or overflow facility. But you wouldn't be going to court. You wouldn't be getting none of that shit would be happening. And he did kind of like vanish there for a bit. Not really tell anybody where he was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's now a question that like will this like if this is like an anti WikiLeaks PR thing, there's a question like will it bite them in the ass? I mean, he's at some point he's not a person you keep silent for long. So he's going to talk to media and all these things, and he's going to get even more attention from the media now. So they all want to know. Like the documentary is coming out, and at the same time he gets arrested. Like, there's going to be some media attention, definitely. If they're not,
Yeah.
we're going to make sure that there will be. So yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like all the people are very supportive too.
Well,
Yeah.
this is just such bullshit. Like, regardless of how you personally feel about X, this is madness. And he, as far as anyone knows at this point, still has the political asylum. Like, unless there's paperwork from the Mexican government that says his asylum has been revoked, there's a at least chance that you could fight this. Now, I would probably want to go find asylum somewhere else, or have like damn near an army at a compound. But
Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I'm thinking. Where could X possibly be welcome? I mean,
Iran.
oh yeah, yeah, he'd do great there. I mean, yeah, and it has to be a place that can,
Venezuela.
protect him too. So like Venezuela, Bolivia, maybe Peru. I don't know. Oh,
I don't know. From what Fee was saying, Castillo is pretty like conservative in his own right.
yeah.
Like
I don't know.
all for returning the wealth of Peru to Peruvians.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like also,
Socially fairly conservative.
yeah,
And this is one of those things that, you know, kind of nebulous in terms of digital activism, online activism.
yeah. I mean, Venezuela, Bolivia.
I mean, that's a conversation. This is all speculation anyway.
Yeah, it is. I
You
mean,
know.
like, when it comes, to places where I think X would be, able to be safely and welcomingly, I guess, granted asylum, it's like we've had the same conversation with like Julian, because like if he gets out, motherfucker, get out of the UK and the West.
Yeah, but this is gonna be like all hands on deck or all available hands on deck. And I did already start to see a couple of graphics come in. We were asking for graphics around this. Hopefully we can get some more generated. Thank you guys for doing that. You got anything else?
Can't think of anything else. Just
Okay, well, I can repeat a very simple request. You guys all please follow the Free Commander X with an underscore at the end on account on Twitter, but also please promote it and ask everyone else to follow it. That's what really helps. Just ask your friends to follow it and your whatever, like family and friends, because what we need is as much attention with it as possible. That is crucial. And in the meantime, we will compile lists of different media, alternative media that can cover this this case. Why does it matter so much? You know that the government has a lot of influence in media, and they have their super secretive social media trolls spreading disinfo or their own narrative about these things. And we're directly in contact with his family and as close to him as possible, and we want to bring out the real information about what's going on and not allow them to spin anything or hurt his case in any way. So that's why it's so important to amplify that free Commander X account. You wanna? Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much it. All I want to say for now. Yeah, oh yeah, and tomorrow, or at least Tuesday, his sister is able to talk to him, and afterwards we can deliver more information. I guess you guys all know how much he talks for hours in a row, so he'll probably explain every little thing to her, and then after that we can give a big update, I think.
Yeah, and hopefully it's a big update because the better X is feeling the more he talks. So.
Yeah, and any lawyers in the USA who want to help with this stuff, or you know any lawyers, you have experience with activist lawyers, they can all reach out to the Twitter account, and also, they don't have to give anything private on the Twitter. We can switch to like Wire or something after that. And also people who have a place to stay in California, in the Bay Area. I think this is in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
They can reach out. Just making it as broad as possible, not just in that city.
Yeah.
They can reach out to the Twitter account, and you don't have to give anything private to Twitter. Like I said, you can just switch it to Wire or Element or something after that. So you'll stay safe.
Yeah, I mean, all three of us are on Wire, Telegram, and Element. So.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
And encourage people to use encryption for their day-to-day lives as a matter of course, always, anyway. So we would, done been doing this, please, because the more of us that use encryption, like, the greater odds of people who need to use encryption to maintain their safety, like journalists and whistleblowers, will be able to maintain their safety. If only a few people are using encryption, it's pretty easy to tell who's using encryption. And that's enough to get, like, unnecessary attention that way. So everyone needs to use encryption.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Plus, why you want everyone in your shit anyway?
Yeah, and I know there's also some people who will say, yeah, encryption, the government can crack it all. Well, I can tell you, it doesn't have to be 100% foolproof forever. You just can make it so expensive for them to do it, and it will take such a long time that they just won't.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's the whole point of everyone using encryption, because that's when they have to burn resources to try to go after a specific person.
Yeah.
That's when they have to burn the most resources. As soon as they determine that, like, okay, this targeted individual is communicating through encryption, now we have to task resources in order to get at it. The general sniffing and cracking algorithm or fucking protocols don't do it. It's not enough. You got to assign people. You got to assign resources. You've got to burn money.
Yeah, and imagine loads of people doing that. Imagine every targeted individual committing to that and committing to getting their friends to do it. So now you have all kinds of people do it. So you multiply all that shit.
Have you talked to your friends and family about encryption today?
As a matter of fact, I have.
Brothers and sisters, I would like to spread the good word about your individual privacy. Friends! I don't know. I think it'd be fun to be a tent preacher. I really do. Shit would be fun.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Fuck yeah, you
I'd want to be a street preacher, though.
could. Okay,
Like,
well,
not-
street
like, I
preaching
couldn't
and
do it
tent
in their
preaching is just
tent.
street preaching with a shelter over you. You can
No,
street
but like
preach in the rain.
I'd want to do it at a street corner though. Yeah,
You work that corner, Jones.
I will.
People ask if things like Signal are safe. Well, they ask phone.
No.
Anything that asks phone numbers is essentially not safe because you know they can look at where you are with your phone number like in like what is it like 2-inch distances or something. It's so precise they can just see you sitting behind your PC or whatever. So they know exactly who talks to who still. And yeah, that's just not safe.
All of your contacts can get mapped. If you have to give up your phone number in order to use an encrypted app, then you might. I mean, like, it's bringing a fucking bendy straw to a gunfight.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so they have like your phone numbers and they know who you're talking to at what time, and then you have to realize they also have access to your other non-encrypted internet traffic. So they will know at like what are you watching at the same time. Are you like both
Who just
watching?
DM'd you and you said, "Hey, we should take this conversation to an encrypted app."
Exactly.
That's what they'll find out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like, so you have to realize that they use all these different methods, and they will still learn enough about you to to fuck you over. So just don't use Signal. Yeah. Pretty much
Yeah,
it.
no.
There's alternatives like you guys are using Element and Wire is decent.
Yeah. Telegram is decent.
Yeah, the Telegram group chats are less decent though, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I rate Element over Telegram, but yeah.
yeah, it's fully encrypted and everything.
Yeah. All you need is a freaking throwaway email for Element.
Yeah. Yeah, and like okay, so and if people live close to you, then it's always maybe better to meet in person even. So
Yeah.
Especially if you can, I mean, if you really have to, then, you can make it so you're meeting where there aren't cameras or a lot of cameras on the way. Like, I mean, there's just Derek Bros has this whole, like, gray man concept anyway about, intentionally dulling down everything about you so that you become as unobvious as possible. Obviously there's a number of us that's a bit too late, and really, I mean, like, activists, that's not what we're going for anyway, but as individuals in general who are concerned about their privacy, it's a wonderful thing to at least think about, concept to entertain.
Yeah.
yeah, you can always fight against profiling in that sense. I mean, you can search for politicians you really hate and just pretend to love them, right? But like, this is just for your personal thing. You can search for products you really never buy. Yeah, there are some methods you can use in like to become like someone else. But yeah, for like people like us, it's no longer possible. But yeah, but you can like, okay, so this is what Redneck Economics says in the chat too. You can't always avoid anything anymore, but you can make it as expensive and as difficult as possible for them. That's pretty much it.
That's what they're going to be doing to us. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they are doing. in real time with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, to me it's also sometimes it is like impossible for me to like convince certain activists, journalists to stop using things like Signal, and I'm not sure why, but it has to do with also with the whole Facebook thing. They will always say like, yeah, no, sorry, all my contacts are on there, all my friends are on there. Well, let's just make it simple. Like, if these are the type of friends that you can convince to go out to drink a coffee with you, you should be able to convince them to move to a different location with you too,
Right?
online. I mean, maybe just try it.
Yeah.
I have the same. I make the same basic argument when it comes to no longer, supporting giving YouTube your watch time.
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah.
all kinds of things that are way weirder that you do on a daily basis than making a free account at Odyssey or Rockfin or DLive or Super U, unbanned.tv.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
always.
I mean, also for people, because I know a lot of people say as well that, like, oh, they have pictures of their, like, maybe dead grandma or something that only exists on Facebook. Like, whatever happened to putting that shit on a good old-fashioned flash drive?
Yep. When you delete your Facebook, you have the option to download every image and video you put on there. And you can do that, throw it on a fucking thumb drive, and then immediately delete that file from your computer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just do the effort. Like I said, like if these are your friends, why would you care? Like, this is like all my friends are. No, convince your friends to go off it. Like, you can go into town, drink coffees and stuff too. Like, you can spend time together and do all this stuff. They're your friends. Like, they don't depend on one social media. Like, and one person has to be the first to do it. Like, you have pioneers and you have followers, right? I mean,
Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
What? You gonna
I'm
do
a
what?
pioneer.
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That clip. Oh, you didn't see it,
Oh, wait, yeah, I did.
AJ?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going for it. I just gotta do some scrolling.
Alright. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Get your friends. Definitely get your activist friends onto encrypted platforms. Okay?
They're asking
And-
what you're going to do.
And even if it makes you uncomfortable to like tell random activists to use encrypted platforms, trust me, I feel you because I recently had to convince a whole swath of activists to get the fuck off WhatsApp. So
In 2021,
Yeah.
knowing goddamn well that WhatsApp as a Zuckerfuck platform has a built-in backdoor to any law enforcement agency that wants to see it. That's what you do. That's what you do.
yeah, no, it's yeah.
I am with WhatsApp. Literally, the person who created it, like the founder of WhatsApp, warned against using WhatsApp. So
Exactly.
he left WhatsApp because it was bought by Facebook, and he's literally an advocate for delete Facebook. So I'm not sure what more hints you need. He said like they're destroying the encryption of WhatsApp. They're doing all these things to fuck over your privacy. Please delete it. So please do.
Yep. Yep, delete that shit.
Yeah, what more do you need, right? I mean, You don't have to like believe us, but you have to actually believe the actual creator of it, who says like, no, they destroyed my app completely. They made like destroyed all the privacy. They destroyed everything. You're no longer safe on there. Please delete it.
And get off Slack too, because I know a bunch of activists use that. Like, no,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Now I can't find that fucking. Now I can't find that Alex Jones clip.
Yeah, one thing. So I mean, one thing like, I know it's popular, and then people will ask like, what is like your WhatsApp or Facebook? I know it's popular, but you can't always choose the easy way. You have to just say like, no, I don't use that kind of stuff. I use this. And maybe you should install it if you want to talk to me.
Yeah, no, bruh. If
Yeah, I'm worthy install. Do it. Right?
yeah, slide into Luber's DMs on Telegram.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, like, don't use fucking WhatsApp. It's like, yeah.
Slide into Steve's DMs on Element.
I wouldn't know how to find him on Element. I don't think I have him on Element.
Get at me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
just fucking around. Yeah.
But you're right, though. I mean, if people are actually interesting enough to talk to, then why wouldn't others do like the effort to install a new thing instead of the insecure stuff? You need to just get off that stuff and stop searching for the easy way out. The mass dopamine triggers.
Tender Lungs just asked, can they spy on Snap? Snap being short for Snapchat, the answer is absolutely. And all the filters help train facial recognition software. So like the dog filters and the butterfly filters and like the glasses filters, like yeah, those help train facial recognition algorithms. So Steve, you're muted too.
Snapchat is never reported a problem. Snapchat is only snitchware and train the facial rec algorithm. That's all it's there for. Oh, dude. Snapchat. Man. Oh.
Damn.
It's fucking so shady, dude. It's so shady.
Yeah.
Oh, this was asked in the Rockfin chat. I'm honestly not too sure about this, but do we Navigator Navigates asks, whatever happened to Olabini?
I see more people
he's
ask it
still
now.
at Lord.
Yeah.
He's still being politically persecuted. Let me see if there's any updates on the account. That has a hugely shadow banned account too. Oh! It unfollowed me. Neat. Thanks. Tweeted out on the 9th, 4 days ago, found out a funny thing about the informative version of habeas data. It turns out that if someone responds, but if they lie, even obviously blatantly lie, they have fulfilled the requirements of this constitutional guarantee. Isn't it great to have rights? Okay, here, I'll pull this one up.
Yeah, he's now in like already in trouble for years and years, and he says there's no like real ending in sight. So it's
Yeah, he's been seriously surveilled and stalked and harassed. Oh, and
Yeah.
Sophie Cat.
Go ahead. I was gonna say
Oh.
his political persecution began the day after Julian Assange was trafficked out of the embassy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For almost 2 years now, surveilled and harassed in various ways, often by persons and cars associated with various police organizations in Ecuador. However, in the habeas data, they certified in a court of law that no such thing has happened. This is a clear lie. In a modern country, it shouldn't be possible for the government to blatantly lie to a judge and then have no consequences for this behavior, but apparently, if it's not a problem here, how can justice work when law enforcement will lie in a courtroom? Welcome to every courtroom. Ola, I'm sorry, bro. Man, I really am. It's every courtroom. I have been in a couple of courtrooms where the cop blatantly lied. I got a case thrown out. Case dismissed. Although it cost a lot to even, I fucking got a car impounded that I'll never get back. There were tools in there that I'll never get back. Fucking 3 pounds of weed that I'll never get back. Fucking, I got pulled over for driving while poor. They manufactured the reasons that I had a light out that wasn't out. There's film of all of this. The rookie training cop initially let me go, and then did not, changed his mind. There is audio on the stop. They record the stops. There's audio of the training officer telling this guy, I don't know how you can unfuck this. They knew going in that they were pulling me over to see if there was anything, and there was. I was on my way to deliver 3 pounds to a veterans collective. But because the cop had so egregiously fucked up, they threw the case out. I did lose a lot in order to get the case thrown out. But, I mean, the cop started to lie. The attorney that I had was like, how about we roll tape on it? Really glad you said that kind of thing. Really glad you asked. Yeah. But, I mean, were it not for video and audio evidence that the cop was lying, the cop would get away with lying. Although I don't think that dude's allowed to be a cop anymore.
So Olabini is going to be at least kept in this whole situation until there is like an outcome on the Assange situation, right? He basically, they made headlines with him when he was arrested, saying like this is a programmer for WikiLeaks, etc. And so.
Well, in the Stratfor documents, you know, they say like fucking go after everyone connected to the organization, make their lives hell too.
Yeah. And the only reason that the others, like Kristin, are still safe is because they're in Iceland. And Iceland has some kind of journalist protection thing going on, right? They're a little bit better on protecting journalists, but the rest, like pretty much all over the world, are being hunted.
They suck.
Navigator, if you know which one you mean. Because she says that guy, reporter for WikiLeaks, whose pic we saw, he was wearing a WikiLeaks t-shirt, who disappeared. Never heard anything regarding him either. Oh, I know what she means. Maybe you mean Aryan or something? He disappeared, yeah. He was never found back again. To me, that one.
I am not.
You mean Arjen Kamphuis? He's a Dutch guy. Yeah, he worked for WikiLeaks. He also gave training to journalists in war zones for safe communication and staying safe and stuff. We don't know what happened to him. He's either dead or he is pretending to be dead. Just give it a 50-50 on that one. Because he was very experienced at giving a training to actually disappear and stuff. So anyone would be able to do it. It would be him. But yeah, we don't know. He's never found. A canoe was found with some holes in it. His phone was found. Could all be a setup. So, I don't know.
Fucking shady. Anyway, you shake it.
Mm-hmm. Anyone tied with Julian Roy is just targeted.
Oh, fuck you, Ellie.
What?
We were shitting on Facebook and Zuckerberg platforms, and she goes, having said that, Slow News Day is now on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I need a place to put clips. I need people to help us make clips. I want clips of the shit that just makes you guys bust the gut. And that's what I want to put on Instagram. A lot of that. Fucking the funnier shit. Lure them in with the humor. Occasional and hopeful, occasional glory rings. Other moments of fucking
Okay.
high energy or hilarity or both. Yeah. Yeah. I don't drive the Instagram.
We can tell.
There is a Slow News Day Instagram.
There is. I know. I made it last week. Like I
Hey,
yeah.
hey, ain't there a Mark Lewis Instagram too?
There is one. There is one.
You better fucking follow me, Lubers.
Yeah. I'm on the way. I'm searching.
Totally, like I'm not kidding about the I'm not kidding about help with Instagram clips though. If anybody's listening and they're down, be really stoked with some help on that.
What the fuck? There's even the Glory Jones.
What?
There's even the Glory Jones on Instagram.
Yeah, it's probably me.
Like, I clicked on following Slow News Day. Immediately got you as a suggestion.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the website's in her bio.
Okay.
Yeah, and cause I follow Slow News Day, and cause I tried following you too, you dickhead.
Seriously?
Probably
Are you sure
not.
Are you sure that's the same Instagram? Because my other one got deleted, of course. Like, I was censored there. I have another one now. I'm following
The
you.
private one?
I set it to private temporarily.
The one with a 35.3k?
Yeah.
Yeah, your.mark.lubers. That's the one I requested.
Okay. Setting it to public. Whatever, it's public now. Yeah, I know. I set it to private sometime because I could get killed and people already report it and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, no, so yeah, okay. Instagram, yeah. I hate all these platforms. I really do.
Yeah, I don't even post.
Now, see, I'm enjoying these decentralized alternative social media and stuff, and we're using these old platforms to promote these new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can slowly move out of that stuff because yeah, it's just game over. Like losing Twitters and stuff, for example. Like, there's years and years of work in it, and it just doesn't make sense anymore. In the past, like when I was like, this is like 2015, was still on Facebook and stuff. Lost 43 Facebook accounts. 43. It's like it's just too much. It's like you keep rebuilding stuff and then you lose it again. And like with Twitter too. Now I lost like a count of like 70,000 followers. Now I have like what do I have now? I have what do I have, like 9,600 or something now, which is not bad and stuff, but it just takes years and years to build that stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just promoting alternative social media where you don't get censored, and like in the case of YouTube, you will lose your YouTube channels, you will lose YouTube videos, so you search alternatives like Rockfin, where you won't lose it. Yeah, with Twitter too, you have to use platforms like Mastodon and stuff, and just use the old thing to promote the new thing, because the old thing is pretty much lost. It's lost game.
100%, dude. Major social media corporations are the government.
Yeah.
We just did a story earlier today about Twitter fucking making it easier for the government to silence you on the platform.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a court case where Twitter was like, yes, government, we'll create a whole fucking commission and committee to go ahead and silence motherfuckers on your behalf.
Yeah. They silence everyone who's not in their whole thought police thing. If you don't follow the rules, you're you have to be fucked over. Hey, did we cover everything surrounding the X case?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got through all the updates and kind of what we're waiting to hear back on. So we basically still need to, I mean, we don't know if he's actually gonna appear in court tomorrow in San Jose, but that's just what we've heard from Jay. And, also his sister is gonna be able to have a video call with X on Tuesday. So by the end of Tuesday, we're hoping for a lot more updates there. And yeah.
Oh, and I found the Alex Jones thingy. Twitter totally buried it, and you can't even find it on my profile anymore.
Oh, and his dogs are okay.
And his dog are okay.
They're in the good hands of the woman who runs Friends of X committee and his attorney. So
dogs are good. Dogs are dogs.
Doggy.
Okay, well, maybe give the PSA after this. Oh, well,
I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer. I'm a human, and I'm coming. I'm animated. I'm alive. My heart's big. It's got hot blood going through it fast. I like to fight, too. I like to eat. I like to have children. I'm here. I got a life force. This is a human. This is what we look like. This is what we act like. This is what everybody was like before us. This is what I am. I'm a throwback. I'm here. I've got the fire of human liberty. I'm setting fires everywhere, and humans are turning on everywhere. I'm I'm a human and I'm coming.
And with that over, folks, free Assange, free Commander X, free them all, abolish this whole wretched prison industrial complex, and always remember, I was about to say always remember more than anything else, find your balance, but no. Anonymous PSA, make sure to spam neuter your pets and politicians.